Welcome back everybody to Mine and Me. Now, if you're about to send your PIP form, right, please watch this video first. Stop, don't send it as yet, okay? Because seriously, just give me 10 minutes. That's all I want, is 10 minutes. Because once that form leaves your hands, it becomes one of the most important documents in your entire claim. And every single week I hear from people saying, Mike, I wish I'd known this before I sent in my form. And it's so frustrating. It's really frustrating. Most of the time, it isn't because people weren't entitled to PIP. Okay, it's because they missed things, and we all miss things, and that's why I do videos like this, to hopefully that people don't miss things. You know, they might not have explained things clearly, or simply didn't realize what information was most helpful to include, because why would you? So today I'm going to walk you through the biggest mistakes that I see and give you a simple checklist before you put in that form, okay? Before you press submit, because you're online these days. So if you're applying for PIP for the very first time, or even if you haven't, you're filling in a review form or something, stay with me to the end, because there's loads of information in this video, and I genuinely think this could save you a lot of stress later on through the line. Okay, so this is a big video, but before we start, I want to give a quick mention, and the quick mention I want to give is many of you have asked for something that walks you through the process step by step. And I've created a range of PIP guides covering the application, the assessment, reviews, and more. They're designed to help you understand the process and organise your information clearly so you can remember it. The link is right at the top of the description. It's also in the comments as well. There's a little pinned comment if you want to have a look at that. And there's also a free gift, which we love. So, right. Let's get into today's episode and let's get this PIP thing sorted once and for all. And we'll start at the start, because that's always good. And we'll start at number one. And one of the biggest mistakes of all, right, is thinking that PIP is awarded because of your diagnosis. Because it isn't. And I know that sounds completely alien. People often say things like, like myself, I've got multiple sclerosis, or I've had a stroke, or I've got arthritis, or I've got autism. There's loads, the list goes on. I've got fibromyalgia. There's just so many different things. And those diagnoses, right, are important background information. They're important. Okay, but they don't automatically determine whether you qualify for PIP. Nice if it did. So PIP looks at your condition and how it affects every sort of day-to-day activities. And that's why two people with exactly the same condition can receive completely different awards. It's that easy. So instead of asking yourself, reframe it, okay? Instead of saying, how ill am I? Right? Because you do. Ask yourself, how does this affect my everyday life? And that simple shift in thinking can completely change the way that you complete your form. It is that easy. It is that easy. And then we'll move on to number two, is don't just tell them your condition. Show them your day. Because this is something that I bang on about in every video I do. Instead of writing, I struggle to cook, because you probably do, but explain why. What actually happens when you cook? Do you lose your balance? Do you drop things? You drop boiling hot pans on the floor, or, you forget you left the hob on, and you wake up in the morning, you're like, whoa. Or you need someone nearby just to help you out, or you need to sit down halfway through and you need to take a rest for 20 minutes because you're like, I just can't do this. So real life examples help someone understand what your everyday experience is actually like. And remember, is the person that reading your form has probably never met you, and they're just reading a form and they just want a picture. So help them picture your day. Help them picture how hard it is for you. And here's one thing that catches loads of people out, okay? Don't assume that they'll fill in the gaps, because we do that as humans, don't we? You know your condition inside out because it's your condition. You've lived with it every single day, 24 hours a day. But the person reading your form only knows what you've written and any evidence you've provided. They don't know you. If something is important, then explain it, please. If fatigue means you can't finish a task for whatever reason, then say it. Why not? Say it. If pain means you have to stop halfway through a task, then say it. Because if you don't, they don't know. Another one is like, if anxiety means you avoid doing something unless somebody is with you, explain that too. Can you see the way you've got to start thinking is never assume they'll just know. You need to say it. You need to write it down. Now, here's a question, right? How many of you out there, right, have got your form in front of you and you've written, some days are better than others? How many of you have done that? Come on, be honest, because I know I've done it. Because loads of people do. But that sentence on its own doesn't really explain anything, does it? When you look at it. So, Mike, what can I do instead then? Well, describe what a better day looks like. Describe what a difficult day looks like. You see where we're going? How often do those difficult days happen? What changes in those difficult days? How do they affect what you can do as people? The more clearly you explain your own circumstances, the easier it is for someone else to understand them. And ultimately, that's what we want. Now, this next point is massive for me. We all do it as well, is don't rush the form. I completely understand why people do, because it's a boring, long old form, isn't it? It takes ages. It's tiring. You've got to think about everything that you can't do. It feels quite overwhelming. But give yourself time. Complete a section, right? And then just walk away. Complete it really well, then walk away. And then think in an hour's time, I'm going to come back and have another little go. Read what you've done first. And then ask yourself this question, okay? If somebody who had never met me read this, would they understand what my life is actually like? That simple question can make a massive difference. It's a huge difference. Because, we'll talk about the evidence part of it now. Is people often ask, right, what's the best evidence? Because that's what we want, And medical letters can certainly help. Prescription lists can help. Reports from healthcare professionals, they can really help. But you could put all this in, but remember, evidence is most useful when it supports what you've written about your day-to-day activities. So the evidence supports what you've written. Think quality over quantity. A large pile of paperwork doesn't automatically tell your story. Your form should explain your circumstances clearly, and your supporting evidence should back that up where it's possible. Does that make sense? You want your evidence to back up what you've said. And something else that I encourage everyone to do is, before you send that form, okay, read it from beginning to end. I know it's difficult. I know it's my word. Don't read it as you, right? But as somebody who's reading it for the very first time, does it make sense? Have you missed anything out? Have you accidentally contradicted yourself somewhere and you're I've already said that, should have said that? Or have you forgotten to mention something important because it feels normal to you now? I've done that. You know, living with a condition every day means we often stop noticing the little adjustments that we've made and take it as normal. And those adjustments can be very, very important to explain. We just see it as everyday life now. And one thing I never want people to do, right, is exaggerate, because that doesn't get you anywhere. You know, you don't need to. You also shouldn't play down things. So don't exaggerate, don't play down things. Just be honest. Describe your everyday reality as accurately as you can. The aim isn't to make yourself sound worse, because it's to make your circumstances, right, understood to the person. That's all you want. It's that easy. So before you send that form, right, please read it. It's like, I can give you a quick checklist, right? Have you explained how your condition affects your everyday life? Simple. Have you included real examples? And have you explained the support that you need? Have you checked everything for accuracy? Get someone else to do it. Have you read back as if you were seeing this form for the very first time? And if you can answer yes to all of those, you've given yourself the best opportunity to submit a clear and complete claim. That is what we want. Okay, so if you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could give a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel, helps me. And I know everybody's happy. So take care and good luck with everything. There's plenty of videos for you to watch on my channel. And I hope you do. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.